In the rap scene of Duval County, in the ghettos of Jacksonville, there is a man so evil the gates of hell spat him out. His name is Yungeen Ace. He is best known for killing his rivals and dissing them in his songs.
So it's like, it's normal.
Killing is an act of normalcy for Yungeen Ace. He moves with death on his tongue. In the heart of Jacksonville, Yungeen Ace formed a deadly rap organization, which he named ATK, Aim to Kill, with which he smokes all that is in his way.
The pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. You already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now.
The Grim Reaper has checked one more name on his dead list, Julio Fulio. In this video, I will tell you about the Grim Reaper of Duval County and detail about his mode of operation. But I must warn you, in all you do, don't get in the way of this rapper, the Grim Smoker. The start of 2021 projected a new personality in the rap scene of Jacksonville, Florida. A man so talented and equally dangerous, he spits death in his bars. Yungeen Ace, the Grim Reaper of Duval County, in his name, many have been sent to meet their maker. On March 28, 2021, Yungeen Ace made a global name for himself when he released the song Who I Smoke alongside his affiliates and gang members, Spinnabenz, Wapawit Da Choppa, and Fast Money Goon. Following the release of Who I Smoke, the narrative of rap in Jacksonville was changed. Since its release, many bodies have dropped for its sake. Ironically, the more the bodies drop, the more the song sells.
Which is basically talking about dead people. I went down the list of the people you guys mentioned that have passed away. Rod K, passed away 22. Lil Petey, 18. Bibby, 16. Lil 9, 18. Techie, 22.
Who I Smoke is a disrespectful diss track aimed at dead people. Yungeen Ace and his fellows sampled the sweet old melody of Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles. Quite a charming song, I must say, but underneath the charm was a confession. The rappers confessed to the murder of all those they mentioned in the track.
Why did you decide to do this though?
That was the question in mind too. Why diss the people you killed? You must be wondering about the same thing too, right?
So it's like, it's normal.
Did you hear that? Dissing dead people is normal? That was the statement Yungeen Ace wanted to make. Who I Smoke was only an epilogue to the spree of one too many disses that he would come to release about dead people, disrespecting them and bragging about how he killed them. Yungeen Ace wanted to proclaim himself as the Grim Reaper of Duval County, second to none. Now, before I take you any further in this story, I just want to make one clarification about the domain of our villain today. Yungeen Ace is from Jacksonville, the most populous city proper in the state of Florida, United States. Located on the Atlantic coast of Northeast Florida in 1968, Jacksonville became a consolidated county with Duval County, in which one metropolitan area was created called the City of Jacksonville and Duval County. Now, this description is particularly important to the telling of this story because at some points I will be referencing Jacksonville and Duval County. Just know that I'm talking about the same place. Another thing that I have to mention is that in the state of Florida, gun laws are flexible, which allows for the regulation of sales, possession, and use of firearms in the state. Hence, if you are a fan of Florida rappers like YNW Melly, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Let me bring you back to the gist. Yungeen Ace dropped Who I Smoke, allegedly targeting 3 rappers in particular, Bibby Techie and Lil 9, all of which are from Jacksonville, one of which is Julio Fulio's cousin. Hold up, make no mistake, when Yungeen Ace says Who I Smoke, he is not referring to a joint or some kind of cigar. No, he is saying Who I Kill. Smoke in the lyrics refers to dead ops. The word is often mentioned followed by the name of the dead rival. For instance, Who I Smoke, Bibby.
I can tell you the moment that we drove up here, we knew this was a very bad scene, a very grim scene. And the second we got up here, we could hear loved ones of the victims, and you can hear them right now off in the distance.
I don't know, I feel like my life stopped. When my baby died, my life stopped. I don't feel alive anymore.
Bibby is the most notable face whose name was mentioned in the Who I Smoke diss track. In 2019, just a year before the song was released, the Grim Reaper of Jacksonville had just smoked Bibby. He brought pain and agony to the family and well-wishers of Bibby. The final hours of Bibby were heralded by the feud between 2 of Jacksonville's most violent rap gangs, ATK and KTA. As you may already know, ATK translates as Aim to Kill or Ace's Top Killers, and is the umbrella under which Yungeen Ace runs his operations. Ace's biggest rival in Jacksonville was Julio Fulio, who headed the rap gang, KTA, meaning Kill Them All. The altercations between these 2 gangs started as a misunderstanding, but soon things took a turn for the worst when the bloodthirsty Yungeen Ace smoked Bibby, Fulio's best cousin. Don't get it twisted, Bibby was not a top dog. He was just collateral damage. He probably would still be alive if not for his close association with Fulio. You know, the Grim Reaper's mode of operation is tactical vendetta. Family is a weakness.
Before he died, a week before he died, I called him on the jail phone, and I say,
I say, I see you out there. If you turn, I see you with Fulio, you doing, I'm like, but don't get caught up in that, bro.
Apparently, 16 years old Bibby was warned by his friends about his association with Fulio. Do you know why he was getting caution from his friends for hanging out with his brother?
I was like, you know how bad they want him? They'll get to anybody just to hurt him.
Beef between Ace and Fulio was getting bloody at the time. Everyone knew the Grim Reaper was out to smoke. Julio Fulio would later narrate the tragic fate of Bibby with pains and regrets. Bibby was getting off from school like any other normal kid, only it wasn't just a normal school. Fulio explained that Bibby did not stay back at his grandmother's house. Instead, he went to visit a friend at an apartment complex in Hilltop. Bibby made it to Hilltop and got attacked by Yungeen Ace, and there, the Grim Reaper smoked his ashes. And that was it. Bibby was sent back to his maker at the age of 16, a news that broke most hearts in Jacksonville. Eyewitnesses said Bibby was chased before he was shot, and they described the gunshots very horribly, comparing it to the wars in Iraq.
Sounded just like probably an AK-47 or something that would, shoot repeatedly without stopping.
When officers showed up, they found Bibby lying in a pool of blood, passed away.
Bibby's death made things worse in Jacksonville. Being Julio Fulio's best cousin, who was equally dangerous as Yungeen Ace, war was the only available action. In the course of the investigation, a man called Hakeem Abdullah Robinson, whom you might know as Xu, was identified as the shooter. Xu is a close associate of Yungeen Ace. Whispers on the street say Xu is Ace's elitist shooter. As you would come to find in this story, Xu is an intricate member of the ATK.
What ultimately happened with your friend Bibby?
I go on Facebook. A little boy just got killed in Hilltop, like 16. So I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, he had on the uniform.
The crises between ATK and KTA started with as a misunderstanding. It soon escalated into a top fight that has claimed lives, including that of Bibby, Fulio's little cousin. Fulio was hurt so badly, knowing that he put Bibby on the line and he couldn't protect him at the time. He would go on to mourn his brother, but the ATKs didn't make it any easier for Bibby's family. They went on to reference and mock Bibby in Who I Smoke, and that cemented the hatred that Julio Fulio had for Yungeen Ace. Everything went south when the court charged Xu with the murder of Bibby. The deadliest gang, ATK. Yungeen Ace formed one of the most dangerous rap gangs in Jacksonville, as dangerous as they are equally very talented. The acronym ATK has alluded to many meanings. Ace's top killers, aim to kill, or sometimes short for attack. Whichever name you decide to call it, one thing is central to the gang, which is death. Bibby formed ATK with some of the most dangerous individual rappers from Duval County. Notable faces in the gang are his blood brother Quan Quan, his cousin 23, Spinner Benz, and his blood brother Wappa Wit Da Choppa, Red Dot, Rollo, Fast Money Goon, Xu, De Dinero, Scotty, and some unfamiliar faces. You should know that every member of this organization is as bloodthirsty as Yungeen Ace. They were carefully selected for their involvement in individual violence in their hoods respectively. Yungeen Ace expanded his organization to cover Melvin Park and the 1200 block. There, he allied with the 1200 gang, who are the top dogs of that area. As you can see, Yungeen Ace is forming an army. He plans on bringing terror to Duval County with this diabolical organization. The 1200s are a longtime affiliate of the ATKs. They hail from the 1200 block on the east side of Jacksonville. The crew was called 187 or Out West back in the day. Some members of this group once identified as S4C, meaning Spas for Corbin, a tribute to a fallen friend who was kidnapped by the KTAs, killed, dissed, and later found in the woods. Familiar faces of 1200 are people like Spinnerbins and his brother Wappa with Da Choppa. The thing is, one cannot talk about ATK without referencing their biggest rivals in Jacksonville, the KTA. Julio Fulio was the top dog of KTA. What you must know, however, is that Julio Fulio was the leader of KTA, which means kill them all. Fulio is considered one of the most controversial and distrustful rappers in Jacksonville. He was best known for dissing dead ops and pissing on their graves. Rapper Julio Fulio once told his story about how he found himself in this violence. He recounted that he came from the north side of Jacksonville, which is the most dangerous trenches in Florida. By age 12, he experienced murder firsthand. His friend's mom, who is not his friend anymore, was shot right before their eyes. This would prompt Fulio to buy his first gun when he was just in 7th grade because he got to protect himself.
They always had the guns and the cars to pull up on us, and you feel me? We ain't never had that.
He said he had to stand up against his foes, who were mostly adults at the time. Fulio's life of violence is typical of his upbringing. Hardly can a kid with such a violent childhood as Fulio grow up to not love violence in his adulthood. It is almost like it is in the blood. Fulio's father had a similar fate as Fulio. He was gunned down in Jacksonville. Police reported that the man was shot twice in the head, pronouncing him dead at the crime scene. Julio Fulio did not let Bibby's murder go with the wind. He planned a tactical retaliation aimed at destroying Yungeen Ace. The war between ATK and KTA just got real. real. Shortly after Bibby's murder, there was an attack on Yungeen Ace, a drive-by shootout that claimed the lives of 3 ATK members, including Yungeen's cousin. Yungeen was the only survivor of that shootout. A cousin for a cousin, yeah? The gang was out celebrating 23's birthday. They were on their back to base when the shootout happened. The KTAs are not yet done. Shortly after, there was a shooting at a club where Kazoo's brother, Abdullah Robinson Jr., was performing. He just got back from prison and was looking to start a career in rap alongside Yungeen Ace. His life and his career ended that night. As you can see, Fulio was out for blood too.
See, we don't never go out to eat because we don't do nothing fun.
Right, yeah.
So that was like our first time going out like that. And like, I ain't gonna lie, we was slipping.
Yungeen Ace revealed that the ATKs didn't see Fulio coming. The attack on them was a tactical one, well thought off, well planned, and well executed. Yungeen Ace and his 3 friends went out for lunch to celebrate several successes, which included 23's birthday and Kwan's graduation from high school. He went on to explain that given the kind of activities they indulge in, the gang normally does not hang out in public, but it was 23's birthday. So they went out to Wasabi for lunch, where they snapped pictures and updated videos on their social media. Yungeen Ace would later reveal it was the greatest mistake of his life.
After Yungeen Ace gets shot and his brother gets killed, you wore a t-shirt that said "Rest in Piss 23."
Yeah.
Why do that?
So when I do something, I'm gonna go all the way, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I went all the way and I addressed it, yeah.
Julio Fulio paid Yungeen Ace in his own currency. He wanted to hurt Yungeen Ace so badly that he would feel the pain in his bones. So shortly after 23's death, Fulio wore a t-shirt with 23's picture on it. He captioned the t-shirt, "Rest in Peace 23. That was not enough disrespect. Fulio went on to release a diabolical diss track where he bragged about killing 23, Kwan, and Corby, and shooting Yungeen Ace 8 times. In an interview with Vlad, Fulio admitted to putting out that hit. He also explained that he shot a video of 23's grave and peed on it, a very disrespectful act directed at the Grim Reaper of Duval County.
My little brother 23, my best friend, he really on the ground, like calling for me like.
Yungeen Ace could not hide his pain. Little did I know that the Grim Reaper himself could get hurt. In an interview with Vlad, Yungeen Ace explained that he was enveloped with guilt for the death of his brothers. He tried to shield 23 against the shooting, but to no avail. That day, his best friends lost their lives and the devil was broken. There was a smoking, but this time, it was in his camp. This could only mean one thing: vengeance.
The pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday, you know what I'm saying? Happy birthday! Everybody got their shots, put their shots in the air, man. Okay.
June 2024 was a month of retribution. It was Julio Fulio's birthday, and the rapper wanted to have an extended celebration. He had planned to have a pool party celebration, and he wanted it to be the biggest party in the hood. But in introspection, Fulio wanted to avoid his pool party being exterminated by the ATK. Given his history of beef with Yungeen Ace, he knew that hosting a birthday in the hood was a suicide mission, so he took his celebration to Tampa, Florida. But Yungeen Ace and his affiliates cannot be hindered by a merely 3-hour drive. There is no mission too great, nor duty too small for the Grim Reaper. Fulio made the same mistake as Yungeen Ace. He dropped his location on social media. Fulio booked an Airbnb for his birthday celebration. Everything was going well, like it was a Christmas celebration, until the police kicked them out of the Airbnb. Fulio's party was kicked out of Airbnb because the population exceeded the occupancy limit. So Fulio moved his party to a club, which he updated the location on his Instagram. Fulio's birthday presented a window of opportunity for Yungeen Ace. This time around, the Grim Reaper wanted to operate with some certain level of precision. Fulio's birthday was on the 21st of June, but the celebration was planned to run through the 23rd of June. Yungeen Ace wanted to make a clear statement by smoking Fulio on the 23rd, on his birthday, just like 23. And so it came to pass. In the early hours of June 23rd, Fulio was added to the list of dead ops in Ace's smoking ashtray. Without wasting much time, Ace would go on to release disrespectful diss tracks in celebration of Fulio's death. Ace's top killers. Ace's organization was characterized by some dangerous individuals who are of great importance in the telling of this story. One of them is ATK Scotty. Scotty was often called 33, but his real name is Leroy Whitaker. Scotty hails from Jacksonville, Florida. He is a member of 2 dangerous groups, ATK and NHG. NHG is an acronym for No Hospital Gang. By implication, if you get in the way of NHG, you are never visiting the hospital. You are going straight to your maker. Scotty is a valuable asset of Yungeen Ace. He kills without remorse. The NHG are well known for their engagement in conflicts with crews, like 6 blocks, Block A and Y, and R, an abbreviation for Young and Ruthless. ATK and Yungeen have a long-time affiliation with the 1200s, which is primarily controlled by Jacksonville's popular rapper Spinna Benzie and his brother Chopper. ATK Scotty made the news when he was arrested for the murder of 18-year-old Zion Brown. It was reported that Zion Brown was the only adult in the house with his younger siblings when the vindictive ATK Scotty brought an attack that killed Zion and hospitalized his younger sister. On May 27, 2017, at around 1 a.m., police arrived at the crime scene to find 3 victims who had sustained gunshots: 18-year-old Zion Brown, 16, and 9-year-old girls. The 16-year-old was identified as Terry Brown, Zion's younger sister. She reported that she was woken by a loud object crashing the window glass. When she tried to survey the house, she encountered an intruder dressed in a red hoodie and blue jeans, seated on their couch. The individual opened fire on everyone in the house, from which she and her sister sustained injuries, and her brother Zion Brown was killed. Zion Brown was a relative of Ace's biggest rival, Julio Fulio. Another Ace's top killer that you should know is the popular Jacksonville demand known on the street as Xu. I must confess, Xu is the most dangerous of them all. According to him, he kills for the fun of it.
You if you staring at my grandpa Duval. My mama told me chill, cause I be killing niggas. You for real? Man, for real, I be really killing niggas. I don't tell lies. All I do is stay facts. Kill any
Yungeen Ace has glorified Xu in his songs one too many times. He had referred to him as his go-to shooter who never misses. Now, there are certain things that you need to understand about Xu. Aside from being a dangerous weapon for ATK, he hails from a family with a long history of violence. His father, Abdullah Robinson, is a well-known hitter in Jacksonville. During his time, he was feared and highly respected on the street, but with age on his side, he left the street for his kids to control. Xu's brother, Abdullah Robinson Jr., was equally dangerous. At the time of all this violence, Robinson Jr. was in jail. Xu made the news with a vile act. He used the pictures of his victims as the album cover of his song. I mean, dangerous things happen in Jacksonville all the time, but Xu's story is always very terrifying to me. Remember the Bibby hit? Yes, Fulio's best cousin who was shot and killed right after getting off school. While friends and family were still mourning Bibby, Xu took to social media with an album cover of his hit at the time. Shockingly, Bibby's picture was among the faces on the cover of which Xu claimed he smoked. After Bibby's murder, Xu spent the next 2 years of his life as a free man, but that wasn't what Xu wanted. He wanted to be punished for his crime, I guess. So he went on a spree of self-snitching on the internet. He rapped and bragged about killing Bibby in his songs, he dissed him on social media, he tweeted about it, and he did literally everything to get arrested. Xu made everyone's job way easier. The authorities didn't break a sweat. Everything they needed for his indictment was there on his social media. It was reported that his album cover, lyrics, and social media posts were all admissible pieces of evidence in the court. Xu is currently in jail serving his time for the crimes he committed, and that was it. The authorities heard his cry and convicted him. Bibby's murder would go on to express her relief following Xu's arrest. She was at peace knowing that her son was getting justice for being brutally murdered and disrespected in death. After Bibby was killed, his mother was sent into depression because it wasn't likely that her son was going to get justice. 1 year later, she hosted a protest seeking justice for the murder of her son. With Xu being arrested and jailed, her prayer was answered, and Bibby could finally rest in peace. If you love this video, click on the card showing on your screen right now for more videos.